Cool.
Oh my god, this is so fun.
It's so
Wait,
fun.
I hope my hair's not like...
It's fine. All right, welcome back to season 4. So today I'm with Asa. She's my friend. Do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Asa. I'm from Tokyo, but I've lived overseas. I am a professional alpine snowboarder on the Japanese national team. We just worked out together.
That is true. So we just went to Hirojime and we hit legs. So we're pretty tired.
Yeah.
We're going to take some questions and then, yeah. Do you prefer the heat or the cold?
Oh, the heat. I hate the cold. I genuinely hate the cold.
So you snowboard though, right?
Yes.
And you're in cold areas a lot?
Yes.
You just don't like it?
No. Sometimes, like when I'm in northern Canada, it'll be like minus 20, minus 25. And then there's the chairlift.
Yeah.
超遅いじゃん.
Do you have a specific reason though why you don't like the cold as much? Or like why you like the heat too much? Heat a lot? I don't know.
Well, 正直, I'm just wagamama. Like I also the Tokyo heat is also unbearable in the summer.
Right. So what if it's like super hot or super cold? Which one would you take? For me, I'm like 100% heat. Like I used to live in Thailand. Yeah. I lived in California, so I'm used to dry heat and wet heat. Like Thailand
dry
summers,
heat.
Yeah,
dry heat. I love California.
Even wet heat, I'm like I would sit in like a sauna outside. I wouldn't mind that over like
8月はここの
It's tough, but it's better than January, February Tokyo.
That's nothing.
I don't know. Or like,
No, I think
That is true.
I think I would take the heat because honestly.
Or even like, okay, one of the coldest I've experienced is like Chicago winters, which.
Okay, but that's pretty terrible.
It's pretty terrible.
That's
right?
pretty terrible.
Like it hurts.
No,
like your
it's like
fingertips?
no, マジでもう like when like 芯まで冷えたら it takes like the rest of the day to come back.
I feel death when it's too cold.
Me too.
Whereas if it's super hot, you know how you just get dizzy? You just zone out. Like, you know, on a summer day, you're in the car and it's like super hot, no AC.
Yeah.
I just feel like it doesn't feel as bad as being like shivering cold and, you know what I mean?
No, genuinely, when I'm on a really slow chairlift or it's like mitcha, like windy, I regret. Like, I'm like, why did I choose this sport? Like, shivering.
That is true.
Yeah.
So you're a pro athlete, right?
Yes.
And you snowboard.
Yes.
What are the biggest struggles of being a pro athlete? Maybe specific to your sport.
I don't think this is specific to my sport, but my biggest struggle is not determining my self-worth based on my results.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes. So you can work really hard, but not see results.
Well, like if I have, like I had a pretty tough season, like with a lot of ups and downs. And when I have a few really bad results in like a row, I recognize that I'm putting in enough work, but just my self-worth, like as a human, I'm like, oh, am I like a failure?
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
But like, I have to, like my friends remind me, or I have to remind myself that my performance doesn't define who I am as an athlete.
I guess that's a struggle a lot of athletes have, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely not specific to my sport.
Gotcha. Because I feel like sometimes people can feel it's unfair, or not unfair, but you put in 150%, but you don't see results.
Yeah.
Does that make you frustrated? Or are you used to that at this point?
It's still hard.
Okay.
It's still hard. Because some people say, 報われない努力はない. But in my opinion, the world's not that fair.
For sure.
It's not that fair.
There's a lot of luck involved.
Yes. There are athletes that I'm like, I know you're not putting in that much work, but like they get lucky or...
I feel like if I were to be an athlete, I've obviously never been, that would be one of the biggest things I'll struggle with. Like up until now, a lot of what I've done, even studying, right? Getting into college, doing work, most of what I've put in have shown results.
Yes.
So I feel like once I'm in an environment like that requires talent, a lot of talent, a lot of luck, that's something I think I'll struggle with a lot. To get
for sure.
used to that mindset of saying, dude, you can do everything you can and possible, but you might not see results. Why did you choose your college? So you went to Dartmouth, right?
Yes.
And I went to Duke.
Yeah.
I want to hear why you chose Dartmouth.
Well, I wanted to go really good school.
Okay.
And
sorry, did you go as a student athlete or did you?
No, I went as a regular student. And it had to be a quarter system school to accommodate my snowboarding.
Gotcha. So that was your biggest reason?
Yes. And the only schools that I wanted to go to that were quarter system were Stanford and Dartmouth. And Dartmouth has a bajillion Winter Olympians. So it just made more sense.
I feel like Stanford has a really good sports program though.
They're really strong in NCAA sports, and of course they have like a bunch of famous athletes too, but it's all like mostly summer. Also, when I visited Dartmouth, it just like, you know when it just feels right.
So that's what it was for me.
Yeah.
When I got accepted, I'd say like the two big schools that I was thinking about was Tufts in Boston or Duke.
I cannot see you living in Boston.
And what happened was I visited the two schools before I accepted, and that was the same for me. I visited Duke campus.
Yeah.
The big difference with Duke was it's a sports school.
Yeah.
A lot of students wear Duke gear on campus, which you don't really see in many other colleges. You see it at some colleges, but Duke is like people love, like Dukies love Duke.
No. Dartmouth is the same.
People
don't understand unless you went to a culty school.
Like it's been 6 years since I graduated. I have so much Duke gear, and
too.
people give me shit for it. They're like, "Oh, you went to Duke," but I think that's what I felt, the campus spirit when I went to campus. I was like, I love this.
Yeah,
and
it's amazing.
I think it's the same with Dartmouth, but it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Which has its pros and cons, but I feel like a lot of students spend time on campus, whether they like it or not, which to me is
there's only the campus.
Exactly.
There's no college
But it's a great bonding experience.
For sure.
Yeah. So we both went to college in the US.
Yes.
What did you spend most of your time doing in college? So apart from studies, well, you obviously studied.
Yeah.
You were in a sorority.
Yes.
I was in a frat. So we partied a lot.
Yes.
What else? Sure. Like, I guess that's nighttime duties.
Nighttime duties.
What else though?
It's such a small school in the middle of nowhere. So, I mean, it sounds like really corny, but just like spending time with friends, like on the green, or just like laying together.
So you had a lot of chilling on campus.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Like, I love that.
Like, it was just like, I mean, there's nothing else to do, which I loved. Because like the reason like we're so close is because there's no college. Literally, it's one street.
I wouldn't say I'm the opposite, but I'm one of those where I was trying to be busy all the time. So I joined a bunch of clubs. That's why I joined a frat as well. And also, I think I spent a bit too much time in the library. I spent hours in the library.
Same.
A lot more than I expected when I went into college.
Yeah.
I think because I try to keep up with my studies as much as possible.
No, for sure. Me too. Yeah.
Maybe if I were to relive that, I mean, that's sort of why I was able to maintain a decent GPA. But I think.
Do you sometimes regret it? Like spending so much? Because I sometimes do.
I actually don't have a lot of regrets in life. So
which is great.
So yes, looking back, I did spend so much time in the library. Like people would tell me, Rin, you're always in the library.
No, me too. Yeah.
Which I can say I regret it, but maybe if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have gotten into the job that I I don't regret it, but
also because I would leave a lot for snowboarding, I just like really
you wanted to maximize.
For sure. Yeah.
You compete in snowboarding.
Yes.
If you were to pick any other sport to compete in professionally, what would it be?
If I had the skill set.
If you had the skill set.
Surfing.
Why is that?
It's so hot. You're tan.
That is true.
And it's just so sick.
That is true. And when you say, "Oh, I surf professionally," that's like,
oh, that's so cool. It's so cool. And like,
it's kind of similar to snowboarding, though. No.
Oh my god, it's so hard.
It's like
surfing
beach
is
snowboarding.
so hard.
It is hard. I have tried. It is hard.
But I just think it's so sick.
So you would pick a similar sport, but I guess
no. But it's like not because I snowboard. It's just because it's like hot and sick.
That is important.
Oh, another one. Track and field, being the best runner in the world.
So no ball sports or team sports.
Oh no, I love volleyball. Like
you wouldn't do it professionally though.
I would if I could. Like
that's what we're saying right now.
No, I know, but it's like
no, same for me because I grew up playing tennis. That was my longest sport. So I feel like I'm used to solo sports.
Yeah.
And you know what? I've never competed professionally, but if I were to pick a sport, it would definitely be a solo sport.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to blame others for my performance. I think that's one thing that I want to avoid. Team sports are obviously fun, but
the camaraderie is like so special.
It is.
I admire that when I watch other sports.
That is true. That is true. But thinking my life is on the line and I'm getting paid for this. I'll probably pick tennis. Not just because it is my favorite sport, and obviously it's not the hottest sport. I would say.
No, I think it is.
You think tennis is a hot sport in general?
Well, to be honest, I think like if any guy is good at their sport, it makes them 10 times hotter.
Yeah, that's for any sport.
No, I know, but I think it's so impressive. It's such an impressive sport.
Yeah. You could say that for like shot put, not to put shot put people but like
you're gonna get hate.
Yeah, I'm gonna get hate from every shot put player out there. But what I'm saying is like if you excel in any sport, Yeah, that's obviously hot.
Yeah.
This is one I definitely wanted to ask. What's your favorite muscle on a guy? Favorite muscle part, body part? Yeah. Because we both work out. Like we both spend time in the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say the popular ones are like what? Like pecs, abs.
I think pecs are overrated.
Okay. The hottest part on a guy. Like you can choose one part. The guy just has like massive.
I love a broad shoulder.
Or shoulders. Okay.
Yeah, but
is that shoulder like?
もう確かに
Is that width or just like?
Because the width is like you're born with it.
Yeah, exactly. Or is it just the delt size?
Actually, maybe legs.
Which part? Calves?
I like quads.
Big
hammies.
Quads. Okay. Just like you like a trunky leg.
But it has to be balanced, you know?
Gotcha. No. But
I think the reason I say this is more because there's so many guys who are big, like their upper body is big, but then they skip leg day.
Yeah. But how big do you want it to be? You know how there's like bodybuilders who have like juicy ass legs?
Oh, like type with like body.
No, I'm just saying like which muscle part. But you want like a big leg. But how big?
It doesn't need to be huge.
Okay.
Oh, but wait.
You want it to fit jeans. Some people they struggle to fit jeans, you know?
Wait, ちょっと待って. Okay, wait, 大丈夫. I changed my answer.
Okay.
Wait, I changed my answer. The back.
Okay, which part? The lats?
全体的に.
You like a broad back.
I love a broad back and a broad shoulder.
Okay.
But can I say, on a girl, delts.
Oh yeah, no, okay, no, that was what I was gonna say. Like my favorite part of the girl.
What were you gonna say? Yeah.
So it wouldn't be delts, it's the back. It's
okay.
肩甲骨ってなんて言うんだっけ?
Scapula?
Yeah, the scapula.
Yeah.
Like I like definition on the back.
Oh, okay.
You know, obviously glutes are a popular
obviously,
one.
that's too easy of an answer.
But if we were to skip that, it would be back. When I see, not that I stare at girls in the gym, but when I see like lat pull downs and back exercises for girls and they have like defined scapulas and back definition, I'm like, damn, that's when you know they're actually fit or working out. Yeah.
I'm like, that's so sick.
And you could also tell they don't give a shit about how guys think about them.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Like, they just want to work on their body.
Yeah.
So I think that also speaks to like, you change your answer so quickly.
That's actually
I don't know which part to use.
Because that's actually, I never thought about that before. I do think pecs are overrated.
No, but it's a popular question.
No, for sure.
If a guy were to hit on you at the gym, what would be the best way for a guy to do that?
Oh, because I've obviously had guy friends ask this. Okay.
You have an answer.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
No,
okay.
for sure.
Okay.
Because I've given this advice.
Gotcha.
If a girl thinks a guy is hot, this is the same at like a bar or anything, they will look at you and give you eye contact, right?
Okay.
And if it's prolonged eye contact and they do it a few times, like you're good to go.
Does that happen at the gym though, where like you're doing a set and you're like staring at each other? Like, I've never gotten that.
Not mid-set.
Like at a bar, maybe, because like you're drinking, you're sipping on something, you have like a couple seconds of eye contact. But at the gym, you're doing something, right?
Yeah, but like between sets, or like you're getting some water, or like you're switching exercises. Like, you know, you'll look at them, and then like, you know, if you make eye contact.
Have you had that before?
No, because usually I'm just like zoned in.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but like I think if I wasn't, because I'm an athlete, so I'm there to like.
That is true. I guess if you're really into your workouts.
I think if I was like a recreational, you know, then I probably do that. Yeah.
If you punch yourself and it hurts, are you weak or are you strong?
For me, I'd be weak.
You'd be weak.
But if it was you,
I'm on the strong side.
You'd be strong.
Because at some point, I feel like it hurts for anyone, right? You hit your toe somewhere, it hurts. But the fact that you can get it to that level means you're strong.
Depends on your pain.
Why would you say you're weak?
Because my upper body is so weak.
No, you hit your legs. You can punch your legs.
No, but like, I don't have the good punching power. If I kicked myself and it hurt, I have strong legs.
So it depends on the body part.
Yes.
If you hit your arm.
If I hit with my arm.
If you hit with your arm.
痛かったら I'm weak.
Okay.
That's such a confusing question.
If you were to give up forks or spoons for the rest of your life, which one would you give up?
Fork.
So you would go with spoons for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Steak, spoon.
You can just bite with your teeth.
That is true. Spoons, there are things you can only scoop with spoons.
Yeah, like
soup.
cereal or soup.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could
drink it. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
And let's put chopsticks aside. You can only use that.
Okay, chopsticks are the superior
they
utensil.
Are the superior. I feel like if you choose fork, it's more proper. Like you can get away with a lot of things. You go to a nice restaurant.
Oh, like it doesn't. Do we care if we look unhinged or not?
That's up to you. So you can choose. I feel like spaghetti, noodles, a lot of things look nicer with forks. But practically speaking, I would go with spoon.
Practically speaking, I would go with spoon. But if I had to if I didn't want to look unhinged in public, I would have to deal with a fork.
So which one? Just for the sake of looking like a proper human, I'm choosing fork.
I think I would lose sponsorships if I went out to dinner and used a spoon.
You're literally scooping everything. Like
So then I would go with the fork. But my heart wants the spoon.
I totally feel you. The spoon goes a long way.
Yeah.
There's so much you can do with spoons.
I would lose some sponsorships.
You know what's the best? Sporks.
Sporks.
You call it sporks?
It's a spork.
It's a sfork, no? It's a spork? Where'd the P come from? Oh, the P.
I've never heard Sfork in my entire life.
I actually looked this up, and it told me Sfork. I never used it, but I just looked it up. Because I get that with my gyudon a lot. Like Yoshinoya gyudon, it comes with a Sfork.
It's a spork.
Oh, okay, maybe. Let me ask.
Look it up right now. I've never heard the word spork as spork in 28 years of my life. It said spork all the way.
Spork sounds like a rejected cousin who never made it to Coloring Family Reunion.
That's so funny.
I love how they're so sarcastic about it. Okay, you're right, spork.
Dude.
Okay, that's funny.
I'm actually mind blown.
Yeah. Actually, no, I remember looking this up and it told me Sfork, which is why, because I was like, what is this? Like, I remember looking at it and I was like, what is this called? And I looked it up and it said Sfork. So I was like, but you're so right. It's so hard to say.
Spork. Yeah. It sounds like Norwegian.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. We were both surprised.
I know.
I was like, Spork? And you're like, Spork?
I was like, the chat GPT.
I was like, where'd the P? I was like, Spork.
For cutting, because I never need to cut,
Right.
Do you think it's easier to cut in Japan or the US in terms of like options? Because I feel like the US has more diet.
Organic stuff, yep. I feel like nutrition-wise, they do have a lot more variety.
Yeah.
And I think the US is ahead in a lot of those. Gluten-free, you have a lot of options.
Because it's like culturally, it's just so.
Yes, I feel like option-wise, the US does better.
Yeah.
In general, just basic living-wise.
Yeah.
Just Japanese food in general is so suited for cutting.
Really?
Because even US bodybuilders, they cut with rice, chicken, and veggies, right?
True, yeah.
You don't see guys taking gluten, eating spaghetti. Well, some people might do pasta. But for me, especially because I only cut in Japan, it's so easy to just get rice.
Yeah, true.
And chicken and veggies.
Yeah.
I could see some parts of the US, especially if you have a car, if you have access to your local grocery.
Yeah.
I would say it's not that hard. But let's see if you meal prep.
Yeah.
It's easy in both countries.
Yeah,
right?
true, yeah.
Gaishoku, right? I think what we're talking about is if you eat out.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder in the US, I would feel.
Really?
Do you feel like it's easier abroad or in the US?
I feel like the US, like health conscious culture is just so big that there's always options at any restaurant.
That is true, which goes back to there's a wider variety.
Like you can get, I think this is so stupid, but you can get the lettuce bun thing and eat like in and out.
Yes.
Not that I'm saying that that's a diet food, but you know what I mean?
Yes. This is kind of hard, but if I were to explain it, I would say if there would be a pie of all the food that's available in your local neighborhood, the pie's bigger in the US, there's more variety. The pie is smaller in Japan, but more of that pie helps cutting.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Can you cry underwater?
Yes, I can't.
Assuming like, you don't have goggles on.
But you're saying like, can I or can you as in like?
In general, can people?
Yes. It might come out till here, but then it joins with the water.
I guess you gotta be really sad underwater, and you're just.
Or what if you're like about to die?
You're about to die. You're
like reflecting on your life, and you start crying. Yeah.
You wouldn't even see this, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's just blended
in the water.
I think when you're underwater, you can't get to the point of crying. Whether
also, how sad are you getting underwater?
Or like you cut your leg off. Say you're underwater and you cut your leg and it hurts like fuck.
Like your shark has eaten your leg.
I don't think you would cry.
Well, you're in fight or flight mode.
Yeah. Or okay, or you're like really sad. You're stuck at the bottom of the sea. You're thinking of your parents. You're like, oh shit, I'm gonna die in the next 10 seconds. I don't think humans would cry. Like you're sad, it hurts, whatever.
Well, you're also drowning.
Exactly. There's a lot more shit to think about. Than
I don't
crying.
think you can think.
Yeah, I think crying is the last thing you're gonna do. You're
that's
like,
true.
you got other things to think about. If you were to pick rice or noodles for the rest of your life, or bread, what would it be? You got rice, noodles, or bread. Pick one.
Oh, that's so hard.
I would go noodles.
I'm so surprised.
Yes. What did you think I would pick?
Rice.
Yes. So it was rice or noodles, but I love pasta.
Me too. I love pasta.
To the point where I can eat pasta for every meal.
Me too.
In college, that was pretty much me.
No, I love pasta.
And if it's not just pasta, you got ramen. I don't eat a lot of ramen.
Yeah, me neither.
But you got soba, udon.
Yeah.
And I loved skimming too. And I was like...
And there's like a million types of pasta.
Exactly. And you could go pho.
Yeah, true.
Harusame.
True. Harusame 食べないけど。
Yeah, same. But with rice, it's...
でもさ、久しぶりに帰ってきたら and then you eat Japanese rice. 感動する.
That is true. Maybe it's because I'm eating rice so much. Like during my cut, that's all I eat. And I avoid gluten.
Yeah. I feel like I'm disrespecting our culture by not saying rice.
But a lot of our culture is noodle based too.
True. But I'm thinking like pasta.
You got options. You don't have to.
No, I know. But the reason I say noodles is mainly because of pasta.
That is true.
Yeah.
I didn't know you like pasta that much.
Well, also, yeah. Although I go to Italy a lot for training, and then it's just幸せ.
Yeah. I'm in Japan most of the time, but I love pasta.
I love pasta.
What's your favorite pasta?
Pasta shape? No, I get really passionate about pasta shapes.
What's pasta shape? Oh yeah, pasta shapes.
Yeah, noodle shape.
Yeah.
Spaghetti sucks.
Oh.
Why is that the base? Squiggly. Anything squiggly.
What's it called? What is it?
Fusilli or something?
Is it fusilli? Is it
like the spiral?
Oh, dude.
No, but that's good.
I can eat buckets of that.
But
you don't even feel full.
And it's just like the sauce.
Exactly.
Yeah, the sauce.
And the Parmesan cheese, it gets in the
crevices. No, but my favorite is, I don't know what it's called, and you can't find it in Japan really. I love a fat noodle too.
Linguine?
Demo, it's squiggly. Like the edges are squiggly, but it's a fat noodle. So you can like twirl it around with your fork and you don't have to like shovel it. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't have to like
What do you mean it's fat but it's squiggly?
No, so it's like a fat noodle.
Okay.
Like a linguine or fettuccine or whatever. Demo, the edges are wavy. So
they have it at nice restaurants.
Yes.
And they kind of they have like a
yeah. So it like still like gets all the sauce.
So that's pretty thick. It's like a centimeter.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
That's my favorite.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would say for me the squiggly. I get excited with anything small. Like in the US they have little bear-shaped ones.
Do you like penne?
Penne's not great.
No, it sucks.
It's because I think what it is how much of the sauce.
Penne, it's just like it goes straight through.
It goes straight through. But the moment karamaru with the sauce,
bear-shaped.
There's like little bear-shaped ones. There's also ones with holes, like a tire-looking one.
Yeah.
Also the ribbons.
Yeah. Those are good.
I think anything that gets a lot of sauce in your mouth.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
That was a great question.
That was a great question.